A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is the 27th June 2023, Tuesday class. So we'll be continuing our sharing from this book, the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta. So we are on page, I think, 466. Okay. So as usual, let's gather and we can have our physical puja. Let us compose our mind, develop our faith, set down virya, and mindfully we shall commence the puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo 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 观世音菩萨。Namo 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 阿弥陀佛。Namo 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 弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวาพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสุภคโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอาทินาทานาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาราเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามัจจาปมาทัฏฐานะเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิ We will continue our chanting from the Patipa Puja onward. Kanna sa Katipang Sambuddhang Pujayami Tamo Nudang Ganda sambara yutena dupena hang sugang hina pujaye pujaniyang tang puja bhajana muttamang vanna ganda gunu petang etang kasuma santatin pujayami munindasa siri pada sarorohe pujemi bedang kasumena nena punnena metena cha hotu mokang pupang milayati yata idang me kayo tata yati vinasa bhavang adivase no bante paniyang parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu muttamang adivase no bante pale parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu muttamang adivase no bante bojanang parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu muttamang. Now we will chant the Puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition as soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Making of overall aspiration. The power of all these merits, born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become palas or powers, sharing and transferring of merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Vedang Pujami. Dhammang Pujami. Sanghang Pujami. So just remember the four support to develop this awareness-based meditation. Just relax body and mind completely. Be at ease. No need to know, no need to do anything, just relax. And maintain the inner awareness to be aware, that's it. Whatever arises, aware. Whether it's a tactile sensation or whether it's any sense experience that arises within any of the sense bases. It can be your seeing or hearing, smell, taste, tactile or thought process. But the awareness is before the knowing, before the perception, before you come to perceive or know what that thing is. So it's just aware. Whatever arises, aware, finish. Aware, finish. So learn to develop this ability to be aware. That's enough. Then after that, the third support is to stabilize this awareness nature within. So if you are patient, you continue to relax, maintain awareness, and allow this awareness to stabilize. Whatever contact that arises and trigger of the thought process or the sense experience, do not continue with the thinking. Initially, of course, it's just aware, means before you perceive. But most people cannot do that because we are so conditioned. Since birth until now, the thought has been very active. So most people who are not trained in the ability to be aware will think, will perceive, will create a lot of thought processes. That's why it's not easy. The arising of thought, the proliferation of thought, the movement of thought, the emotion, whatever, the stirring of the mind, the doubt, worry, anxiety, boredom, the lack of peace, the wanting to be peaceful. So all these are mind states, sankara activity that actually make the mind active, the mundane mind, the thinking mind. So to decondition all this, to bring about the mind that is truly quiet, still, and just aware is initially not easy. So remember the four support, especially the first three. Relax, maintain awareness, stabilize the awareness. Then after you have the ability to do that, you just stay at the heart area and remain completely silent and just aware. And allow your awareness to detect whatever it can detect. It could be your heartbeat or any vibration around your heart area. Just silence everything and just relax and feel it. Initially, the awareness nature is very near the feeling. When you just feel, it is still the pure feeling before the perception, before the thinking. So you stay there, until it becomes like very quiet, very still. Then it will not wander off. During that time, the mind becomes different. The mind is just aware most of the time. Then you let it stabilize until it becomes very quiet and very still. Then if you are patient enough, you will start to experience the peace and tranquility within. The mind that is very different. So experiencing that silent mind, the true mind, the awareness nature within is very important. The first moment of realization of that silence, the peace within, the stillness within, the tranquility within, is the beginning of understanding the true mind, the silent mind. Then as you develop more and more stability, this silent mind becomes very different. It has the understanding of how the thinking and the thought process, the aggregate of mind, how you function as a human being, how activity of mind come to be, how the contact between your sense bases, sense data, and your consciousness, that three animate you into a human being. So upon contact, like the physics experiment, that mind become conscious. It depends on which sense basis. It can make you conscious of your feeling, sensation, or hearing, or seeing, or smell, or taste, or tactile, and thought process. So all these are our six sense bases. So when we are completely silent and just aware, we can observe, and through that silent observation of the reality of what is, we develop wisdom, we develop awakening. That's what awareness-based meditation is all about. So don't go and look for things, don't try to know things, just maintain awareness, observe. Then the nature will understand, the nature will awaken, the nature will stabilize, and finally have the ability to insight into phenomena, to awaken to the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Then it can also develop the direct seeing, to see things as they are, to understand clearly who we are, what we are, and how we function as a human being. So all these are the meditative understanding that will arise. Okay, you all can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities of Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalisu Atra Gajantu Devata Saddhamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakemokadang Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti Piso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho วิจาจารณสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิโดอนุตตโรปุริสธัมมสารติสัตตาเทวามนุสานังพุทโธภควาติสวากาโตภควตาธัมโมสันติติโกอากาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปานายิโกปัจจตังเวดิตัมโปวิโนหิติสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอุจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาญาปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามิจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยะดิดังจัตตาริปุริสยุคานิอัตตปุริสปุกาลาเอสาภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุเนโยปาหุเนโยตักเกเนโยอัญญาลิการะเนโยอนุตตรังปุญญังเกตังโลกาสาธิสาธุสาธุสาธุ I was told today the traffic quite bad. I saw the message from Sister Alicia. I said no problem, take your time, but really bad. Then later on, I think there were a number that came in later. Sister Han, Brother Song used to come early, but today he also slightly earlier, about 3 minutes. And finally, Alicia already make it. Chinhao also here. Sadhu. Okay, before I start, I think I got a small announcement. I was told this Thursday is a holiday. I think official holiday. Is it Awal Muharram or Hari Raya Haji? I forgot it. Hari Raya Haji. So we will cancel our class. But for those I think who stay nearby or close by, if you want to join us for an informal session, you can come. I think our informal session should be around 1 o'clock, about 1 o'clock, or 1:30, 1:30 better. So we just gather at my house. Then for those who wants to come, it's an informal sharing. It's about Dhamma sharing together with some Kayan Mitas. So that is the short announcement. Okay, now we'll continue from where we stopped. We are at page 466 of this book, the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta. Hopefully today the sequencing should be correct. If there is anything not normal, let me know. But roughly, I think we will know. Some of it, I think the explanation not like the usual proper one, means something must have gone wrong. Jump on. Okay, I will read from where we stop. This is the sutta part. Further, all great sagely lords know the deep desires in their heart. Of all the gods, humans, and other beings within all the 31 plane of existence, or the threefold world system, they call it the sensual world, the form world, and the formless world. where they have the equivalent Pali term, Karma Loka. Karma here is K-A-M-A, not M-M-A. So here karma means sensual. Then they have the form world, Rupa Loka. Then they have the formless world, Arupa Loka. So these are the three worlds where the 31 plane of existence exists. Okay, and the sutta continue. Using different expedients, devices, which help to reveal the foremost principles. If there are living beings who have met with Buddha in the past, heard the Dhamma, practice giving, morality, patience, and vigor. These are the 6 parameters. Then Dhyan Samadhi, wisdom, and so on. Cultivating blessings and wisdom, persons such as these have all realized the Buddha path. So, to develop the perfection of the 10 perfection leading to the realization of the Buddha path, you need to cultivate 2 very important, they call perfections. You can summarize them as virtue or blessings, the first one. And the other one is wisdom. Wisdom and virtue or blessings, they go hand in hand. Without wisdom, there is no real virtue or real blessings. But with wisdom, it will enable you to have the understanding to cultivate pure virtue, means without the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. And this type of virtue are very rare. Pure means no delusion, not even sakkayaditthi. Of course, because of sakkayaditthi, the 3 evils of greed, hatred, and delusion, they will arise. But most people cultivate all the way. They do not understand that the 3 evils arise from sakkayaditthi. When you have self-delusion, sakkayaditthi will arise. So this is where the understanding needs to be developed. So when you have this understanding, then you realize a lot of people who do good, cultivate merits or blessings. It is the extent of good. Before you are enlightened, good is according to the individual. So most of them, they believe good means as long as I am not selfish, I don't have the greed behind, the craving, the desire, the possessiveness, and I do not have the evil roots of anger, hatred, envy, and jealousy, then my mind is relatively pure. Then it will develop merits, or you will become virtuous. Like you believe you are being kind, you are being generous. All this, they have their own reality within the cultivation. When you are going through the cultivation process, especially for those Puthujjana who hasn't even realized the sainthood way or the first stage of sainthood onward, leading to arhantaship, normally this sakkayaditthi, self-delusion, is still there. So they can actually practice loving kindness, compassion, or what using the thought, but there is a limit to what that virtue is. That's why in the 5th Patriarch Sutta, actually in the 6th Patriarch Sutta, where the 5th Patriarch Hongren, when he decided to transmit his patriarchship, he told the assembly of disciples and his people, students and all those things. He said, do not continue to seek after tinted merits. That word is very important. Seek the Dhamma to realize the truth. Because these tinted merits, although they are quite useful initially, but they may not be helpful when it comes to developing enlightenment, awakening. So tinted merits are merits that have certain goodness, wholesomeness, virtue, but tinted by that sakayaditi, that self. Means you believe by doing all those things, you receive merits. So that atta, that sakayaditi, tint the merit. Like the emperor who actually asked Bodhidharma, I have built so many monasteries, support the Sangha, the translation, the Sangha that actually help to promote the teachings and all those things. And they hold a lot of ceremony. So how much is my merit? So the shock came when Bodhidharma replied. He said, 0. You don't have any merits. So the emperor actually was very unhappy, but he did not say it out. So he just continue the conversation and not happy inside. But Bodhidharma knew. Bodhidharma actually purposely said that. Because to Bodhidharma, that is the truth. He is an enlightened being. He is a great being. So to him, when you talk about merits, it must be pure merits. Tinted merits are actually not considered as true merits. Your tinted merits, even after you have done a lot over many lifetimes, it cannot compare to a being who has developed the wisdom and the understanding. Even one moment of pure thought, free of the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, that itself is more wholesome than all the tinted merits that the unenlightened being actually develop and cultivate. Then it's also mentioned by those who have the Dhamma and understanding. He said you can have even one moment of pure thought. Means not necessary cessation. A thought that is free of all the delusion, the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. Means the pure thought that is non-grasping, non-clinging. That is just that pure, what they call vijnanam, from that true mind, the silent mind. That pure thought, that itself, that moment when it manifests. That's why when you meditate, when you can develop this, what they call awareness-based meditation, your thoughts are so pure. Your every moment of that thought is actually the silent mind, your true mind, your nature, the pure, untinted consciousness. Of course, later on when you develop the wisdom and the understanding and the awakening, then your mind can have more and more moments of cessation or space between thought. Means the awareness, nature, they develop more and more until it become very stable, very clear. Then throughout the day, most of the time, you're either aware without thought or completely silent in that stillness, tranquility. That mind that has no dwelling is just still. tranquil. That is your true mind. That is your silent mind. That is the mind that can awaken or develop the meditation. So all this is part and parcel of the meditative understanding. That as you progress, as you transform, develop more and more understanding and wisdom, then you can see how cultivator of the way, when they don't have the understanding, they lag behind a lot. But as you develop the understanding, you start to progress. And the way you progress is so fast compared to those that are not in that category to understand it the same manner as those who have gone through the cultivation. That's why this cultivation, when you start to develop the understanding, you will come to know the one that have progressed well and continue the progress and transform. Actually, it's very difficult to catch up with them because they keep on progressing. Then they will develop more and more understanding, more and more wisdom. And because of that wisdom, the virtue, the merge, they will become true virtue, pure merge that is way beyond the normal being. And because of that, their karmic nature become very different, very powerful. Then that mind that has transformed, develop the perfection of the spiritual nature more and more. The wisdom part, the understanding part, then that mind state which is very different, then they always stay with that true mind, that silent mind. Then they are with that mind that is completely without delusion. They call it the pure awareness of the great being. Then you go and read through the Wu Liang Yi Jing that we have covered earlier on. The Sutra of Innumerous Meaning is mentioned under one of the chapter there, I think chapter 1, virtue. This virtue are virtue of great beings, bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, Sammasambuddha, and great beings. And their virtue are very different. That's why they always talk about that true mind, the state of being of that mind, which is very, very extraordinary and amazing. And it can give rise to wonderful transformation and understanding. So this part, just make a note. I added in because the sutta mentioned it. Okay, we go back to the sutta. So when you cultivate the Buddha way, means the Mahayana normally start with the 6 paramitas, but under Theravada, finally you go through all the 10 perfection or the 10 paramitas. Okay, I have finished the sutta part. Now we go to the outline of the commentaries. Extensive explanation, opening and revealing. Expedient devices shown as help to reveal the actual teaching. Then showing the characteristics of opening the provisional and revealing the actual. Showing the virtue of planting, aiding causes towards cultivation of the 10,000 conduct. Then finally explaining, opening and revealing with regards to cultivation of the 6 paramitas. So this one is the Mahayana's approach. They start off with the 6 paramita. So we continue with the commentaries. Further, all great sagely Lord, meaning all the Buddhas, the great beings. Know the deep desire in the hearts of all the living beings, all the gods, all the humans and non-humans, other beings of the three worlds. There is the world of sentient beings and the material world. So this one is Kamaloka, just I mentioned already. Then there is the world of sentient being, which is also called the orthodox retribution world and dependent retribution world. So this one is subdivided to karma. Then the sutra says, using different approach or expedient ways, they help to reveal the foremost principles. Meaning, because they understand all this desire or thoughts of desire of living beings. That's why the Sammasambuddha, they can set forth the provisional teaching. And yet, clever, wise, expedient, devised Dhamma door to rescue living beings. So all this Dhamma door that they come out with is the provisional teaching to bring about the more stable understanding leading to the final teachings or ultimate supreme Dhamma door teaching. So this expedient device, Dhamma door, they are actually to save living beings. So the expedient devices include the teachings of the sound hearer or the hearer vehicle, means the sainthood way, and the conditioned enlightened vehicle, more advanced sainthood way. They call this the Pajika Buddhas. These are enlightened beings that are able to become enlightened, not through hearing the Four Noble Truths. They come to realize the conditioned world wisdom, or they awaken to understanding the Paticca Samuppada, the dwelling. That's why they call it the conditioned enlightened vehicle. Means the Pajika Buddha vehicle. And finally, of course, the ultimate supreme vehicle is the Bodhisattva way, or Bodhisattva ideal vehicle leading to Samma Sambuddhahood. So these three, the first two are more to prepare cultivator of the way, to develop the initial understanding of the sainthood way, which also include the conditioned enlightened one, the Pajika Buddhas. And all these enlightened beings at that time, they do not have the parami or condition to go the Bodhisattva way, which is a very extensive and more in-depth cultivation. But these two are important, because without these two, there are no beings that have the capacity to go the Bodhisattva way. Because to go the Bodhisattva way, you must first at least realize the sainthood way all the way until Arahantaship. Then when you become an Arahant, the danger is once you become an Arahant in that life, there is no more rebirth consciousness in the future life for you to come back. That's why the Arahant, if they don't go the Bodhisattva way, they will actually cease. Then no more. Means no more condition for them to take rebirth, not through the ignorant way, through the pure mind, as realized by the great beings or the cultivator of the way who has taken the Bodhisattva way. So if there is no more of this being, then what happens is to go that way, the Bodhisattva way, is like very difficult. But most of the time, those of the sainthood way, or the conditioned enlightened beings, we call it the Pajika Buddhas, they must have over their cultivation encounter a lot of great beings and even Samas Buddhas. And because of all this encounter, then during Sasana period, especially Sasana period, you will hear of this teaching of the Supreme Vehicle. They call it the Bodhisattva Vehicle. So this one, when you have contact with all these great beings that have this understanding, they will teach you, they will advise you, then they will let you develop the understanding. That's why, like this life, one of my mission is to teach this Bodhisattva way, to enable you to have the understanding to come back. Then this one, when you develop it, it can actually, like I explained to you all, you follow the yellow card and make that affirmation, means determination, to plant the seed of Bodhi, very, very sincerely, with faith, understanding and perseverance, until it becomes very, very strongly planted. Then you make that vow, the adhitthan, together with all the advices that I have given you. You vow to take the 4 basic vows of the Bodhisattva to go this way. Then you plant that seed of Bodhi, means the Bodhi mind, for you to come back. So that pure mind, out of love and compassion for the living being, will create the condition for your future form and mind to come back. Even this life, you manage to become an arahant. You don't worry. Because of your vow and your aspiration, all of your whatever adhitthan, means all the right view that you vow to have whenever you come, whether you choose to come or you have to come, you must have all this understanding, the 2 aspects of the 5 aggregate of form and mind. Then this form and mind, which is just a vehicle and a tool, and its characteristic. So all this, together with the asking for forgiveness and all those things, they will bring forth the way. Then life after life, when you come, whether you choose to come or you have to come, you will have this understanding. The Bodhi mind that is already been planted, it will activate your nature. Then when the time comes, that one will move, that one will trigger. Then you will know how to come. Then all this understanding, they will continue to build up. So this is how it can be done. So the reason why I say, especially Sasana like now, you all have the condition and you learn this understanding. So the main mission, when Maitreya in the year 2008 came to me and request my nature to share the true Dhamma, 请你把正法传下去. That time, I knew what that message was, and a lot of compassion, deep joy arise. Then because of the condition behind, my nature knew I have this ability. So the first thing that I have to teach is to teach the Dhamma in the new way that living being can understand the clear and direct cultivation leading to the awakening. So to share the true Dhamma is very important. But the second message is actually tied to the first message. Is to bring forth this unique Bodhisattva way that I have developed with the understanding that I have shared with you all in the yellow card. Because at that time, very strange, when the request came and arrived, I remember 2015, end of 2015, beginning of 2016. There were a lot of Kayamita suddenly asked about the Bodhisattva way. I never thought them before that, but people become interested. A lot of them even mentioned in the email to me that before they had this initial understanding, they would never have dreamt of going this way. Yet to them, the sainthood way is already so satisfying or rewarding, and like you already very contented, very happy enough. No need to seek further. But then the condition arises. So because of that, somehow the condition come to be. Then I remember there were a few Kayamita who requested that I share this. Then I agree. After I agree, I also didn't expect anything to happen except maybe those with the affinity, the understanding will receive this teaching and depend on their faith, their sincerity, their ability to persevere and all those things. The rest is like let things be. But somehow that 4 sessions that I share, I only share 4 sessions, I remember, the Bodhisattva way. And each and every of that session, somebody volunteered to do the transcript. Then when the transcript came, I look at it, then I combine it, then I realize it can become a book to teach that way. That's why the book is there, the blue color one, with the Kuan Yin image in front, cultivating the Bodhisattva. And that's how it comes about. And you read through that book, you will develop a lot of understanding. Then from there, you develop the cultivation. You become very different. That's why Sasana is the window where you can receive all this teaching. So this sutta that we are going through today is all related to this. How the provisional teachings of the sound hearer, the sainthood way, leading to the Pajika Buddha, conditioned enlightened vehicle, accumulating into the final Bodhisattva vehicle. This is the ultimate supreme vehicle, leading to Sammasambuddhahood. And this is the vehicle that will give rise to a lot of understanding. That's why I said it is the most complete, extensive, and most rewarding type of cultivation. And through this cultivation, you not only seek the realization, awakening, to be free from all suffering, so that you don't have to come back to samsara to go through all the unnecessary suffering or misery, but you also get to develop the understanding of what life is. You develop the understanding of the unconditioned Dhamma to awaken. Then you cultivate all the perfection, all the extensive understanding and perfection to become Sammasambuddha. That one is very beautiful. You will develop complete understanding of the conditioned Dhamma. So when you understand the conditioned whole Dhamma and the unconditioned, you become beautiful, perfect, and you know how to live life. You know how to come. And your coming is very different because of this understanding. That's why life can be really beautiful, wonderful, amazing, and all those things. It's because this teaching is very unique. It not only teaches you about enlightenment, awakening, developing the penetrative wisdom not to be deluded, but the most important teaching about the Bodhisattva way is to teach you the understanding of life, the conditioned world, the whole of that nature. And there are so much things inside there. That's why the teaching is very, very extensive, very beautiful, unending. I used to share with you the word unending. Even that day, Sister Alicia also come to know that the unending part is the most beautiful, because life is ever manifesting, is in a state of flux, continuously arising and passing away. So here, unending means you can cultivate the perfection, the wisdom, everything. And this process of cultivation is unending. It's very extensive. But there is such thing as perfection or wisdom. You can perfect it and finish off. To fulfill the perfection to be a Samatha Buddha. Yeah, that one is possible. But it doesn't mean with that you don't need to learn anymore. It's not learning actually. It's the understanding of life, the understanding of different era, different world system, different condition. Because the whole conditioned world is so extensive, so vast. They use the word limitless, countless, the star system, everything. So how can you develop the complete understanding? No way. That's why it's called unending. So cultivation can actually take off into a very different dimension that humanity or living being has never understood or not able to understand. As I dislike my nature come, I can see a lot of things. Even though our lifespan is only about maybe 7 or 8 or 9 decades, if we are lucky, maybe 10 decades. But for me, 8 decades is good enough, because we are so blessed. We came in the transition age, where I call this the golden window, the golden age. The last 6 to 7 decades, so much thing has happened, and it has evolved so beautifully, and a lot more things are evolving and arising. That's why sometimes I share with my daughters, you all will get to see a lot more where they are much younger. They still have another maybe 4 decades to go. So all this can actually bring forth great understanding, great beautiful life for the cultivator, the way they have the understanding of the Dhamma and life and existence. So this part, make sure you understand it, so that in future when you come, you become different. Then you will not have the deluded thought, that fear, wow, Bodhisattva way takes so long, aeons and aeons. I don't cut short, finish off. I mean, the choice is up to the individual. You can choose, but the ultimate understanding is very important. So find out yourself. Okay, now we continue a bit more. I think another 10 minutes to go. Okay, I finished all that part. So now I continue next part of the sutta. If there are living beings who have met the Buddha in the past, in former life, heard the Dhamma, practice or cultivate Dana Parami, means giving, generosity. Morality is Sila, Sila. Then patience is Khanti, patient endurance with wisdom. Then vigor is Virya. And Dayan Samadhi is development of Samadhi. And wisdom, Prajna, and so on. The commentaries say if any of the different kind of living beings, means all those that has been described, if they have listened to the Buddha Dharma, to the teachings of the 6 paramitas or 6 perfections, then they may have decided to go this way, the Bodhisattva way. So the first perfection that you need to perfect to help you in the movement along this way is the Dana Parami. That's why Dana Parami is very important. Dana Parami is the first of the 6 perfections. In fact, the 10 perfections also start with Dana. That's why the teaching of the Buddha is very clearly spelled out. In the Theravada tradition also, he used to share this. I better write on the whiteboard. He used to say these 3, Dana, Sila, and Bhavana. Then this Sila, Bhavana, sometimes they break it further. This Bhavana, they break it further into Samadhi and Panya. So Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, these 3 actually, is basically the Noble Eightfold Path cultivation. This Dana is a cultivation of virtue, generosity. So this one is generosity. When you develop your cultivation, you need Dana Parami. Don't underestimate Dana Parami. Dana Parami is very important. Generosity. To actually do away with your selfishness. To develop the understanding of the nature's law of cause and effect. Means the law of karma. You reap what you sow. The more you give, the more you receive. Because giving is giving based on understanding and wisdom, giving to your own nature. So, although you may appear in the worldly sense that being generous, you give it to others. The giving, that generosity, that Dana Parami is very important, because that giving is actually our understanding and joy to help people. So the law of karma is you reap what you sow, means what you give, if it's meant for good intention, that bring for a lot of wholesomeness to help people, then you will receive that back. Understand? Like evil karma, you reap what you sow. If you kill, you cause harm, you deceive, you do all the nonsense, then the law of karma says you reap what you sow. In future, you will be killed, you will be harmed, you will be deceived, cheated, scammed, and know a lot. So all this is understanding of cultivation. When you understand all this, then you will not go the wrong way. That's why Dana Parami, generosity, always remember all giving, all sharing, even the Dhamma, the truth, whatever understanding, whatever you share, it will come back to you. Well, that is the way you give. Then when you come, that is the way you will receive. It's the same. So when you understand that, you will develop it. The other reason is, I explained before, without Dana Parami, you won't have the good merits, the good blessings, to actually give rise to causes and conditions for you to have a good condition to cultivate the Buddha Dhamma. Do you understand? If you don't have Dhamma Parami, the 4 basic requisites, or the 3 basic requisites, or food, shelter, and medicine, or whatever, if the basic need of food and shelter also you don't have, you ask yourself, how can you go on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya? Because your first priority is food and shelter. Then most people, after they have food and shelter, like the Maslow hierarchy, they will go after what? Wealth, status, fame, and all those things. Then they will want honor and all those things. And because of that, they move away from cultivation. Because this one gives rise to unnecessary wealth that can lead you astray to greed, desire, craving, delusion. So generosity is to be cultivated with understanding to support you to have enough causes and conditions for you to go this way. Then after that, you must make the aspiration. Commit yourself to develop this cultivation. Sila is number 1, I explained before. Without Sila, if your morality is not under what they call restraint, means if you do not hold on to the precept, what will happen to you? Your mind cannot be peaceful. Because without precept, you would have violated the nature's law of karma. So violating the 5 precepts, the basic minimum 5 precepts, is like major evil. When you have major evil, the karmic retribution, the karmic, what they call vipaka, when it hit back, it will stop you from developing the meditation. Your mind becomes disturbed. Even those who break the precept, you will know. You kill people, you harm people, you can end up in police case. You can end up in people coming after you and taking revenge and all that. You will not have peace of mind. If you cheat and deceive and commit all those nonsense, worse still, you will end up also very difficult to find peace to meditate. Then when you commit sexual misconduct, it's the worst. Your whole family life destroyed, gone. Then the hatred born of that broken relationship can actually cause you hell and all those things. Then of course, the 4th precept is about lying, deceiving, and cheating. If you do that, you will have a lot of karmic obstacles that will obstruct you and prevent you from seeking the true Dhamma, even developing the what they call meditative mind to be in the state of samadhi, leading to the awakening and the cultivation. So all these are related, but the sequence of it, you must know how to understand it, so that when you develop the Dhamma Parami, you know, like we always recite and chant before we have our meal at the retreat. You remember, this food we take is for what? Just to sustain this body so that it's well and proper for us to develop the cultivation, because food is something that the body needs. So likewise, the Dhamma Parami is also not to bring about extravagant, not to bring about what they call sensual indulgence that brings about downfall, where you become like tempted by the Dana Parami, the Dana wealth. Then you become like very, I don't call that ambitious. You become like very aggressive. Then you chase after a lot of things through unscrupulous way to gain fame, to become authoritative and all those things. And all this will lead you astray. Then you miss the Dhamma way. So Dana Parami is to prepare you to come into the Sila, Samadhi and Panya. So remember this. So once you have this understanding, then you make affirmation that you will have this understanding life after life whenever you arise, so that you will not make those mistakes that normal people do. So this Dana Parami I have explained earlier. Giving is the first of the 6 perfections. Then of course in the text is very standard. I think I have covered this before. So there are 3 kinds of giving. The gift of materialistic wealth, and they have the other one is the gift of truth or Dhamma. Then the other one is the gift of life or fearlessness. So giving here, is the way they phrase it. This Dana Parami, or they say giving, cure your stinginess, like I say, so that you will not become selfish, so that you have the understanding to be generous, because you understand this law. When you understand this law, it's different from tinted merit. Do you understand or not? Because you don't need to go and have the sakayaditi, like, oh, I do a lot of merit, so, and because of that, I reap what I sow, I will receive all it. If you have that, it's sakayaditi, tinted merit already. But if you have the understanding, when the Dhamma is there, it's no longer tinted merits. Well, these merits, you will know, because it's a nature's law, you cannot violate. You will willingly do with joy, with understanding, to help people, to bring forth, they call causes and conditions, for people to actually benefit. That's why I always use the word to be a blessing to all of humanity and mankind. So to be a blessing is very important. Means you can contribute in whatever way that can bring about blessing to all of humanity, to all of society, the whole world. So all this understanding means you do because there is this nature's law, there is this understanding that all this, there is a karmic nature, there is a spiritual nature. While you do with all this understanding, you actually perfect the spiritual nature, the karmic nature. And these are the 2 natures that you need to come. Because like the Buddha said, the first one is the karmic nature. We are all born our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma. We are what we are because of our karma. So you have to take care of karma. You got no choice. That's why that karmic nature becomes very important. And you know, that's why in the teaching, the Buddha said there is a right duty. You remember? The 4, what they call, the 4 attributes of an enlightened being, or the enlightened disciple of the Buddha, where you chant under the salutation to the Sangha. So the first one is of what they call good virtue, then of right conduct. Then you have the other one is of wise conduct. When right means upright. Then wise means you have wisdom. The last one is what? Samichi Patipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho. Of right duty. Understand? You need to perform that duty. Well, that form and mind is subject to karma. That's why of right duty. Of right duty is the disciple of the enlightened disciple of the Buddha. They will have this right duty. They will understand. That's why they do their duty. That's why you do your duty, following the Dhamma way. No negativity. Follow Noble Eightfold Path. Right view leading to all the Noble Eightfold Path. perfect. They are perfect, beautiful, and full of understanding and wisdom. So this is what cultivation is. So when you have this right duty performed, means you take care of karma, your karmic nature perfected. Understand? Whenever you come back, you got no problem. Where you have avoid all evil. Cultivate wholesomeness. Then the last advice is purify the mind to awaken. And that one is under the cultivation of from samadhi leading to panya. Whereas sila is to protect you from falling from karma. Then when you understand the right duty, you perfect your karmic nature. Then when you cultivate samadhi and panya, you perfect your spiritual nature. That's how the cultivation is to be understood and developed. And this is the most important aspect of cultivation. So understanding all this is very important. So now I move into all this so that you can have the bigger picture, so that you understand what real cultivation is. No longer like before. Before is to emphasize on the basic teaching, the essential Dhamma. Now is the big picture, covering more and more things, so that you can move, you can develop all this understanding. Okay, we stop there. You go to that part, I will mark that page. Okay, I myself finish a few more things. Giving cures one's stinginess. This one we all know, right? If you are mindful, you cannot cultivate Dana Parami because you are very So if you cultivate Dana Parami, a lot of generosity or giving, you can reduce your miscellaneous. So if you are a person who very stingy, they use the word, who are not generous, you better develop this Dana Parami, it will help you. Okay, I mark this page. Okay, today also we didn't cover even half a page. So we are still at page 4, 6, 7, the beginning of the page. But it seems we cover a lot, although half a page. Today one don't have the funny commentary, so at least we go direct into the important essence of the cultivation and the teaching. Okay, very good. So before we go to the second session, maybe I just let those who came today, the physical class on some good news. I bought some durian last night, so you all must have good Dana Parami, so you all can try. So initially, I didn't know there was traffic jam. So the only one that arrived was only Hui Rong. So Hui Rong was alive, but still, I'm the only one. And Sister Sweet also told me the day only one person. I said never mind, let things be. At first I thought Hui Rong is going to be the lucky one. Then finally, hey, one by one come on, end up 6, 6 or 7 on there. So Yao Hao Fok. So Yao Hao Fok means you have done a parami. So that is how it goes. Okay, now we open up for the second session, which is reporting of meditation, followed by whatever Dhamma question that you may have, or you want to add to today's Dhamma discussion also can, or share whatever Dhamma in daily life that you have come to experience or encounter, so that more and more understanding can be developed. So don't worry about your question, because whatever question, it can bring forth the causes and conditions for Dhamma to flow. So just have faith, be sincere, and just share and maybe ask whatever Dhamma question that you have.
Ami Tofo, Brother Joy, Mrs. Joy, and all kind of Yeah, I like durian also,
Yeah. You should fly down,
yeah.
I keep one box for you.
No, Brother, you must send me express.
Oh, okay, okay. Delivery, Grab.
Delivery, yes. Right. Yeah. Right here today, I want to talk about the generosity.
The
Today's
Dharma
topic that we're talking about. Yeah. I happen to have this condition. How to say? To make when monks come to Singapore, they will
yes,
have like meal offering and Dharma talk. So I have this condition to do the meals offering. Yeah. So we like it's like a potluck, like a potluck. Everybody come together. Yeah. So they come together, and put it on the table, and then we be blessed by the monks.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, yeah. In the past, when I first do it, it was like I really do not know how to do it. So I just
You
watch
don't
how
have
people do it.
experience and you don't have the
Yes,
understanding at that time.
yes. But now I'm kind of like I've done it for a while already, so I know what to expect and how to do it,
Yeah,
okay.
a lot of
So
different.
yes, a lot of difference. So, but in any way, I want to share this recent meal offering, okay? Because something happened, okay? Yeah. So, okay. This one is about the Long Po Liam that came
Sadhu. Long Poliam is quite
to Singapore.
famous, yeah.
Yes. Somehow I have very how to say that
Affinity.
affinity, yes, very dear with him.
Yeah.
Every time he comes, I don't know, I can automatically go and do
Yeah,
meal
you will
offering,
know about it and you will be there.
Yes, I'll
Yeah,
be there.
just like last
So,
time, Master Hsuan is the same. Yeah.
so I go and I like to prepare my own food, I don't like to buy and then offer, So
Yeah,
I will prepare do the cooking myself,
yeah.
So and then of course the drinks I will buy the yogurt drink or whatever drink,
Yeah.
And then the fruits, I will buy the fruits okay, and wash it at home, I mean, you can
Yeah.
wash it there, but I find very rushed to wash it there, So I will wash it at home. Then I have all the sodium bicarbonate to wash,
Yeah.
So I do all the preparation at home, then I bring it to the temple to make the offering, So it was a very good day. I reached there like 20 minutes before
ahead
the
of time.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, a bit of time. So I went to the main shrine, do my offering first, and after that I go to the dining hall to put out
Sadhu.
my food in the
Yeah.
whatever plates given. So
On
you
the
just put it.
Dana table.
Yes,
Yeah.
So you transfer whatever you have in the Tupperware, you put it into the
Yes.
plates, So and you put it on the table, And after that you go to the dining hall there waiting for the monks to come in,
Yes.
pay respect, things
To
like that.
partake the offerings. Yeah.
Yes. So everything was like very normal, like everything is very orderly done, very normal, nothing out of extraordinary,
Yeah.
But because the people that came is overwhelming, it's like a few hundred people, flow out of the
There's a big
dining.
crowd.
Yes, flow out of the dining hall, but the dining hall is like not like enclosed, it's an open one,
Yeah.
But
Normally it's
there's no
open.
space for you to sit, but you sit outside,
Yeah.
on
Normally
the
it's the
chairs and
open
things like
concept.
that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it's kind of good, so you can sit outside if you come late, Okay, but that was not uh, a normal thing, especially when Long Po Liam comes, every time he comes, I mean, you will expect this kind of crowd, Okay, but the thing is about the preparation after the monks, after all the puja, how call that, the short dharma that Long Po will give, right?
Yeah.
He will after that go ahead and the monk will take the lead to take the food first, right? In their arms bowl, in their arms bowl. So they take the food, and after which the lay people, the devotees will take the food, But because it's a weekend plus the crowd is so big, they have to transfer the food to another table outside,
Oh, yeah.
outside the open air,
Yeah.
So because of the big crowd, because it is so big crowd, mean, everybody jammed the dining area, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
the
not
monks were
enough
not
space.
able
Yeah,
to eat peacefully, you know.
correct, correct.
You
Yeah,
know,
not enough
so they
space.
have to transfer the food out. So that part of the transferring of food,
Mm.
it's not simple thing to do lah, because of
Yeah, yeah,
limited
yeah.
number of volunteers, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that can help out. So they ask all the devotees, the lay
Mm,
people that
mm,
came,
mm,
to
mm.
form a chain of how you call that, a human chain, so
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
pass the food from one to
correct.
another.
To help out
Okay?
in the
Yes, to
process.
help out.
Yeah.
Yes, to help out in the process.
Mm,
So we have to form a chain,
mm.
but the funny thing is, you have to form a chain around the building, you know, but it's like
Yeah, yeah,
around the building to bring the food out to the
yeah,
table,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and then because the weather is very hot, it's like 10
Mm, mm.
although it's like 10 plus, but it's super hot, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we form the chain of a human, right, outside under the sun, you know, hot
Mm,
sun, you
mm,
know.
mm. Yeah, yeah.
So the people all form lah, but
Mm,
because the people also not enough, so from human to human, person to person, it's like 1 feet away, you know,
oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you have to bring the food, and there's so much food to bring, right? So they have trays of food, that you have
Mm.
to carry, you know,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah,
the
yeah.
tray, when I look at the tray, I was like a bit shocked. So heavy, you know. I mean, it's like for us, I mean, we are the weaker ones,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, very difficult. Don't know after I spill how, you know, or drop it on the floor, you know, wow, very
Yeah, yeah,
embarrassing,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So the people just form, and then kids also want to help. Wow, very dangerous,
Mm,
so we tell the kids, you move away, don't,
mm, mm.
you know, carry after trip and fall, wow, very dangerous. So we are the elderly people,
Yeah, yeah. No, more
so
elderly
mainly the
also.
people that come are quite elderly,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not unexpected as well,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
all
yeah.
these elderly people form a human chain, and then we have to bring the trays of food. So there was not commotion, but a bit of not say chaos also, but loud noises,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
people
yeah.
are
A little bit of
moving
those
things.
things happening. Yeah,
Kind of noisy, like that, very
yeah,
heavy,
yeah.
you know, from one person to one person. It's very heavy.
Mm,
You have to be careful. So this kind of noise, this kind of
mm, mm.
how you call that, alert
Yeah, yeah,
caution.
yeah.
So, but I find it very very joyful and fun, you know,
Oh, sadhu.
okay. I find it very joyful and fun. I said, wow, so joyous to do, although very noisy and how you call that, noisy. I don't know lah. Some people just say so because of all this commotion, we call it commotion and noise. Be
Yeah.
careful and heavy and so forth and so forth. Right. So from
Mm-hmm.
one person to the other person. So, but I feel the joy of doing it and
Sadhu,
hearing
very
all
good.
this,
Yeah,
because you kind of like alerted to it, correct or not? When
yeah,
you look
yeah,
at it,
yeah.
you say very heavy, yeah, very heavy. So from one person to another person. But the people behind me, after me on my right side, wow, not happy, you know, but can you all be quiet or not? And don't make noise, be silent and mindful, you know. A few of them on my right side keep saying this, you know, and then to keep telling me it's heavy, you know, the kind of thing, you know. You
Yeah.
know, rather what happened is when they said this, this lady that's on my right side, be silent, mindful. Wow, you know what happened to me, you know,
Yeah,
my
you
mind,
got to see all those things. It's
no,
quite common. Yeah.
my mind, went into the silent mind of radio. Okay, and then after that, I feel, because the sun is supposed to be. I felt actually before that. I will tell you what happened. I was like sweating and feel the heat tremendously. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, but when this lady on my right side said, "Be silent and mindful," to all of us, that making so much noise and happily doing it, my mind went into the silent mind,
Yeah.
okay, and then the 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 mind, I tell you, becomes blissful and cooling, and
Sadhu.
and
Very good.
and it's like no more heat, you know,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
totally
You
no more
you
heat.
can like experience a completely different what they call mind state. Uh,
Yes, yes,
because it
it
will
went.
transform you. Even
Yes,
the actual environment there, like you say, very hot that day, and I was seeing a lot of people going through the process to help out, but they end up with some commotion and a lot of very noisy movement, action, and other things. But your mind, if you are a cultivator, you will know what to do. And for your case, is because that lady actually, I don't know whether he raised her voice or what, silent, be mindful or something. So it's indeed a good advice. So if you can like remind people to be on that alertness to develop the silent mind, the mindfulness, the awareness, so that you can benefit from the occasion of Dana Parami, the giving. Like the Buddha mentioned, the giving must satisfy 3 important criteria for it to have the highest blessings, or we call it the highest efficacy of that action. So in Pali, I remember the Buddha actually under the Abhidhamma always mentioned. He used this word, Somanasa Sahagatang, Jnana Sambayutang, Asankalikang. So these 3 important mind states during the performance of dana is very important. That's why for your case, you fulfill them all, because before you go, you are so joyful about the news. Then you prepare all this food, some yourself. You buy the fruits also, you choose proper one. Then you prepare them. Then with joy, before you offer, you go. Then when you place them on the dana table, when you make your reverence at the temple place, and the mind state that follow with all this are very wholesome. So before you offer, there is this joy. Then when the offering takes place, you also rejoice. There is also this joy. Then your mind suddenly, upon hearing that lady say, be silent and be mindful, suddenly settle down, and it become like very cooling, tranquil, peaceful, despite the weather and all those things. So means before you offer, there is this joy. When you offer, also there is this joy. Then of course, after you offer, you still have the joy. So the other 2 criteria is, when it says Somanasa Sahagatang, means like the Malay word, Sumwa Masa, at all time. That's why before you offer, you have this joy or happiness. Then when you offer, you also have this joy and happiness. Then after you offer, you also have this joy and happiness. Means Somanasa Sahagatang. At all time, you have this joy. Then after that, the second one is Jnana Sambayutang. Means you offer with jnana, wisdom, understanding. That we managed to pin it out to the what they call map, mind map that she prepared. So the 3 conditions, she will pin it now. She managed to get it ready. The 3 conditions needed to perform the highest wholesome dana parami. Done with joy, somanasa sahagatang, there is mentioned there, before, during, and after. Then the second one is done with wisdom, jnana. Nyaya, it should be jnana, N-A-N-A, I think. You check and see. I remember in jnana sambayutang. Who give you?
Internet.
Oh, internet. Maybe internet made mistake. It's normally should be jnana. But never mind, not important, it's the spelling on it. Then asankalikang, the third one, the meaning is spontaneous. You do it spontaneously because you have done it before, and you know this is wholesome, that's why spontaneously you will do. You don't do when people prompt you, means people tell you, hey, you must go, this monk very famous, very good. And then, not to say there is no merit, there is still merit, but prompted, understand? Not the highest. But when it's not prompted, the moment you hear, you want to do already, you know. Because you just hear, somehow got affinity, then you just want to do, you know. That one is spontaneous one. They call it asankarika. So asankarika means spontaneously from your nature, it developed the understanding and it wants to do. And there is a lot of joy when you do. So that is what the teaching is all about. So when you participate in such dana parami or wholesome activity or even Dhamma session or what, if you know all this and develop the appropriate understanding to be in those mind state that is most conducive, then you become beautiful. Then you get to develop much more wholesomeness than other people. That's why I say when you understand, your cultivation become different. As you progress, your cultivation become different again. And Dhamma cultivation is such it's very difficult for those who are starting to catch up with those who have progressed or no. Because those who have progressed, they will continue to progress much faster and faster. It's like exponential curve. But when you hit a karmic obstruction, you're stuck there. Then if you're not careful, you become complacent. Then you may fall. Like what they call snake and ladder game. You kena the long snake before you reach the top. You slide all the way down. Means you become complacent. Then you somehow neglect your cultivation, your practice. You become arrogant. Then you slide back. Then that time, when you want to get back, not easy one. No. You see, then the mind will start to create your own, what they call doubt. Wow, why last time I can, now I cannot? Because most people is, before you develop it, first time, you full of enthusiasm on another. You like very, with a lot of virya you want to do. But when you have done it, then you think you have done it already. Then you think enough already. Then the excitement no more. Then you become complacent. Then you fall. After you fall, you want to get back that what they call drive, or that spiritual tenacity or zeal to go that way again. Not so easy already, because you already like good food, you experienced before already, it's no longer that exciting already. Because you cling on to that good food. If you don't cling on to that good food, every time you experience it as new, then that same joy can still appear. But you must have the understanding. The most important understanding is the causes and condition behind. When you understand the causes and condition behind, then it becomes really beautiful and wonderful. So dependent on the causes and condition, it will manifest. Then when there is causes and condition, when it manifests, you can really have the good, I should say, can be anything. Good food or good experience or good wholesomeness that can be repeated. Not a problem at all. In fact, like I used to share with some Kayamita, in the early day, that's why I say different time of your cultivation, you do different thing. In the early day, my faith very strong, and there is condition to do dana parami, you know. You can ask my wife, my children. We would travel everywhere on spiritual trip or whatever. Then we go Ajayantras, Katina, all those things. The monks, whatever offering. We will go brickfield everywhere you go. Then all the various center where they have the activity. Then sometimes I hold my own house dana also. Oh, that time do a lot. Oh, that time do with a lot of joy and understanding one. Very funny. Then after that, I don't know what happened after 1989. you have the understanding already. Then like no more of like last time wanting to do. Cannot already. No condition, nothing happened. Then I realized there was one occasion, I remember one of the Kayamita Sister Shokhun, I think, in one of the fundraising area, they were raising fund for some fundraising for one of the monks. Then each table, I think, cost a certain amount, including donation. Then suddenly, she approached me, out of the blue. Everybody also, they still busy discussing. She approached me and my wife as well. Said, "Brother, are you free on such and such a day?" I say, "Yeah, I'm free." He said, "Can I invite you to my house, Dana?" I said, "Oh." Then actually for me, that time I already cannot chase and cannot do. But because she was so sincere, and no motive, nothing. She just want to invite me where she know, where she was my student before. So she know I was good and all this thing. I think some of the Kayamita, you all know her. The first trip to Achalo, there, you remember? Sister Shawan, she requested our first Papa, the mini, what they call, Katina. We are not enough 5 members of the Sangha, they call it Papa instead of Katina. So that one was requested by her. Then we managed to go. So that occasion, I say, okay, I agree. So because I agree, normally even if I go there, I won't personally bring food or take food and offer. I cannot do already. That day, very strange. On that day, somehow I remember. Then I was there. So they saw me, at the gate. Wow, a lot of them so excited. Bratio is here, Bratio is here. So everybody, you know what they did? They rushed to the Dana table there, take the plate, and bring forth the food and ask me to offer. Wow, so many of them. I said, please, don't worry. You all go ahead. He said, Pitu, very wholesome, 7 monks. I said, don't worry, thank you. Then you know what happened. Finally, Sokhun, he gave me 1 plate. I didn't accept any of those who came. Then she gave me 1 plate. You know why I accept her? She told me, this one, I make myself one. It's very simple, some tidbits of it. I said, okay, sadhu. I said, for your case, because of your sincerity and your understanding, I say I will go and make the offer. Then I went in. I can still make the offer to all the monks that were there. It's like that one. When there is condition, you can still do. But if there is no condition, you ask me to go where, chase after what, I cannot really. To visit places or what, how famous or what, it cannot do already. But if you got condition, no problem. It can still happen. So you will reach that phase of cultivation and understanding, and all this will fall into place. That's why for Poh Cheng's case, it's a very good experience, and she will continue to go through and develop more and more understanding of all this. Because different phase of your cultivation, you do different things on. There are periods where you continuously look for Dhamma, listen to Dhamma, then rejoicing, then do all the Dana Parami. So Dana Parami sometimes not necessarily just offer food Dana. You can also offer the requisites. Last time I prepared a lot of these requisites when you asked my wife. We wrap it with that transparent lantern paper, got color one. Then I give to my daughter, my son. We all make the offering. Then we buy the robe. We also wrap it up. Then we do all this. Then sometimes Breakfield, that time I was in charge of the Dhamma talk, the recording, everything. Then when the good monk come, at one time there was one monk from India, 100 years old. A very good monk, Ananda Maitreya, remember? Immediately after the first talk in that breakfield, me, my wife, my 2 children, I went out there and bow and make the offering. He was full of joy he received from us. So these are the things you will do. Where there is condition to do, and the understanding will be there. And you will go and prepare others without people prompting you. So you can buy toothbrush, toothpaste, Panadol, the what? Mũ căn you call what? Towel, hand towel, and all those things. Then all the requisites, sometimes pen they also need. So you just offer vitamins and all those things you also can offer. So these are the things. So Poh Cheng, hopefully this sharing can also help you and salute to you for creating the condition for all this sharing. You continue, Poh Cheng. Sorry to take out some time of yours.
No. I think it's a very useful information that Brad you shared so that all Kayamitas, not just this group of Kayamitas, but future Kayamitas, sentient beings also
Because
get
cultivation, we have to go through all this.
Yes,
So
correct.
my sharing is because you give me the condition to recall and recollect all these beautiful moments. That's why I extended your Dana Parami from offering of food to other things, the requisite and all these things. Then sometimes you can offer ang pao also because for their whatever need when they travel as a monk.
Yes, brother, we have opportunity to offer requisite as well, beside the meal offering. So we also form a queue to offer, it took a long time to finish because this occasion so many people, came and make offering. So in a way, Long Po is actually I call very blessed. He has a lot of Dana Param, all this as well. So it took a long time to finish. That's why the meal was delayed, for a long time. So that's why we were all under the hot sun. But we do it with joy, except that some people just couldn't couldn't take it. Like we make so much noises. It was like a fun noise, fun noise. Not those,
You will have the understanding. So those noise are not a problem at all. Sometimes through observation, you also rejoice. This is the way of humanity. Cultivating different cultivator at different stage, they do different things.
So actually, I because the girl was telling me not to make so much noise, I told her, no, we are very joyful, making this noise, so don't worry. I told her that, I told her that. But anyway, it was all for the good fun of it, And after that, right, the monks will sit in the hall, we sit outside to eat, right? And then usually the monks, usually we will finish our food very fast also, but the monks will somehow stay behind to answer question to lay people that want to ask question, right? But I guess maybe because of his age, right? So there wasn't any time for that, I guess maybe he had to go and rest or what. So before I could finish my meal, right, our meal, I noticed that the monks already left from the dining hall.
But normally they will give a blessing before they go. They share merit, they transfer.
Yeah. Actually it's before the meal even. Before the meal that would be done.
They already share merits and all those things.
Yes.
After
before the meal they do that.
After they accept, After they accept, they normally will do that.
They accept the meal first, then after that they do the blessing. And then after that they have the meal, and then after that the lay people will have their meal, after the monks have taken all the food in the alms bowl. And then usually after the monks meal, they will kind of like give some private, not so private but devotees that want to ask them question. He will stay for a while, you know. But in this case, I noticed that probably of his age, he's being elderly, so maybe they left early without that particular session.
Yeah,
but
sometimes
it all
because
depends
the
on their
crowd.
schedule. So yeah, it
Yeah,
all depends
because
on
the
the
crowd
schedule.
is too big.
Yeah. Too big also, then you'll be a
Yeah.
long queue, you know, where I feel that.
Yeah, and also they have their schedule.
Yes,
so
yes,
they may
correct.
have to leave early and all those things.
Yeah.
It's not
So,
an issue.
yes, correct. Not an issue lah. So, but anyway, so they left. We continue to have our food, and then after I have my food finished, right? So since the monks already left, right? So I usually what I do is very few. I will like I don't go and see them, but I will stand outside the dining hall. I will pay my respect and then leave. You know,
Sadhu.
you know. Yeah, that's what I do in the past lah. You know, but this time I said, oh, I don't get to do that lah because they left already. But never mind. I say the elderly, it's okay lah. You know, it's okay. So I went to you know what I did? I went to the how you call that, the place where they put all the statue of the past famous monk or accomplished monks, you know, at the hall, you know, one part of the hall. So I pay respect to those monks that were their teachers lah, you know, former teachers of the monks lah, you know, like Ajahn Mun, you know, one of them is Ajahn Mun, you know, Ajahn Man, okay, and some other monks that I do not know lah, plus the Sivali Arahan, you know, okay? So the famous Sivali Arahan, everybody knows one. Then after that, I went. This was on the first floor. Then I went to the second floor to pay respect to the big statue, you know, before I come. Usually that's what I do. I pay respect to the monks. I pay respect to this, and then after that, I'll go home. You know, that's my sequence of doing things lah. Sort of like a sequence lah. You know, pay respect then go home lah. You know, and then because after all the drinks I had, so I said no. After all the eating, my hands dirty, so I go and wash my hands first. So I went to the toilet, wash hands, and then from the toilet to the main door gate, it's about 200 meters away.
Oh, quite far.
Quite far, because this is quite a big temple, but not too big lah. Big enough to have quite a bit of space lah. But not like the Malaysian temple that's plenty of land.
Okay.
It's enough to move around lah. Anyway, so I went to wash my hands. After that, I want to leave already. So as I walk by, I just, because actually because I stay on kind of late to chit chat with a friend before I leave, right? So all the people already, most of them already left. Okay, most of them already left. So it was like kind of empty. The temple is kind of empty. It's about like 11 o'clock like that. 11 plus like that. 11 plus, maybe 11. So most of the people left except the volunteers and the couple. I think it's a few other those kitchen helpers lah. So I just wash my hand and want to leave. As I walk right, you know what I saw? You know, in front of me, just in front of me, like I walked 100 meters away, then just in front of me, you know, I suddenly saw this 5 monks, including Lompo Liam in front of me, you know. We crossed paths, you know. Paths. I said, what happened? How come they are here in front of me? I thought they already left, you know.
Yeah, sometimes meant to be.
So it's like,
can you wrap it out? Sum it out, because already exceeded 10:30.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You have to sum it out.
So this is like, I just feel that every time I have great affinity with monks, I always will have the condition to meet them.
To meet up with them. Like they meant to be.
To pay respect, you know, because I didn't pay respect, so I kind of like have to meet them to pay the respect. Very strange, you know. This causes and condition to make it happen.
You will experience them.
Yes, correct. So it's like, how what is the probability of this happening, you know?
Very
like
rare.
Zero,
like last time, what happened to Hsuan? I get to offer, my wife get to offer. It's meant to be, it will be.
Yes, correct. So that is the thing that I want to share. That's all. Dana giving. Yes.
Okay, let us rejoice. Let us rejoice. Sadhu. Okay, we have to share merit, transfer merit, then we have to end. Akasata ca bhumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditwa cirang rakantu lokasasana etta wata camehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo devo asatu kalena sasa sampati hetu ca vito bhavatu loko ca Raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, we shall end the whole Zuma. You all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end sadhu.